President. My question is to the Minister representing the Minister for Liquor and Gambling Regulation. Yesterday we saw a protest outside this place representing the numerous councils sick and tired of the harm poker machines are doing to their communities. The protest highlighted the $3.2 billion Victorians lose on the pokies each year. Losses that lead to the devastation for families, suicides and violence. That is $3.2 billion that is not going into local economies and productive activities that add value to our communities, but instead it's billions lost to community destruction and corporate profits. Why does the government continue to deny the harm of pokies by refusing to introduce harm minimisation measures such as $1 bets?
Minister, Mr Deladakis.
So, President, I thank Dr Ratnam for her question. Can I indicate that, again, as I've done on a number of other questions from Dr Ratnam, I don't accept the preamble. In fact, the government has looked at a number of harm minimisation policies that we have looked to implement, but we also believe in free will. Now, free will provides for people to you can, Ms Pennicue, get upset with this answer, but the fact remains that people have free will to undertake a range of activities in the community. They can speed, and if they get caught, they get fined. If they drink too much and they drive, they can get put in prison. If they need assistance because they have an addiction, they can get help, right? And this is the point. This is the point that needs to be made. This is the point that needs to be made. If people suffer an addiction, then they need to get assistance. There is no doubt on this side, I don't think anyone in this chamber, regardless of what political party we come from, that we would seek to deny assistance to somebody that needs that help, whether it be as a result of alcoholism, drug dependency, whether it be gambling addiction. Regardless of what it is, if they have an addiction, they need assistance. Now, in relation to gambling, there are many people that can gamble without concerns in relation to their personal or their family or their friends' safety and security. So, what we need to do is we need to get the balance right as a government. We believe that we can always do more to assist people in harm minimisation, to assist people to try and get the assistance that they need to ensure that the addiction that they face is one that can be treated. But as a government, we cannot be held responsible if people don't seek to get assistance for their addiction. We can't. We physically cannot be responsible for saying to somebody, you need help. We just can't do it. That's just statement of fact. That doesn't mean to say we can't be there to provide them help. Well, again, if you choose to belittle the answer, then you're not listening to the response. The fact remains that this is a very serious issue for the community. It's a very serious issue for the community. And what you're seeking to do is to suggest that anybody that gambles has a problem. What you're seeking to do is to imply that anybody that chooses to participate, anyone that chooses to participate in legally provided gambling, whether it be in this particular instance pokies, or whether it be at the track, or whether it be sports betting, that somehow we should restrict the ability for people to undertake a normal course of social activity of which that they choose. So this is a difference of approach. Now, I will take the substantive part of your question on notice and ask the Minister in the other place to respond in 2 days, as per our standing orders, and I look forward to providing you that response.
Ms Ratnam, on a supplementary question.
Thank you, President, and thank you, Minister. Thank you for that preliminary response, and I await the more substantive response. I would argue that, once again, not accepting the premise of my question as you've outlined is the reason I have to keep asking the question in this place. And I am very concerned about the amount of victim blaming that is brought up every time we talk about harm prevention, which is what my question is about. And my supplementary question is, will the government concede that with its 20-year pokey licences and unwillingness to introduce harm minimisation measures, this is about harm prevention, that it has locked in 2 decades of Victorians losing over $3 billion a year on pokies. That's over $60 billion over that 20-year period, and locked in 2 decades of increasing harm to the community? Or is it too addicted to the revenue to act in the interests of the Victorian community?
Minister, Mr.
Well,
Dallagakis.
President, I hope you listened to that because I think there were 3 questions, not just one. But irrespective, the answer is no. The government will not accept the statement that you tried to pretend was fact, the statement that you asserted was accurate, the statement that you asserted and provided that was somehow demeaning to people in our community that can gamble without concern. Now, this is not victim blaming. This is about providing resources. This is about providing resources to people that need them, and for people that don't need them, allowing them the ability to participate in a way that they are comfortable with. That is what this is about. Now, do we have the level of resource availability for people that need? That's a different question, and I'd be happy to accept that question if it was. But as per usual, you are more interested in ideology than trying to get to outcomes.
Thank you. Mr. Purcell.